All right, this year is coming to an end. So that means that we have to already prep and get ready for the new year, 2023. Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today, I wanted to talk about things that I am personally excited about that are horror related in any type of way. News, anything that's gonna be coming out, or any info that we have for things to enjoy in 2023. So it's gonna be a good video. Strap in, get hyped. I'm so pumped for the new year because it looks like a lot of cool things are in the works or are supposed to be coming out. So we'll see how that goes. I know things can get delayed and whatnot, but hopefully we get everything on time as predicted. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this isn't gonna be in any particular order because I've kind of found information randomly about, so I'll try my best to keep some sort of theme, but you know, there's not really gonna be any linear timeline for everything coming out in this video. However, I do have some dates and some information, you know, about certain things, but they're all gonna be kind of just things I'm excited about in general. So one of them, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I am so excited for this. You guys have no idea how excited I am for this. It makes me want to rewatch all of these movies just because this is coming out, supposed to be coming out this year, and that is Final Destination 6. Y'all, okay, if you don't know much about me, here's something you do need to know. I kind of gained my love for horror and anything in that sense through the Final Destination series, all right? Me and my brother would binge watch all the movies, and then it kind of led us to binge watching all the Saw movies. So those are the two franchises that sparked and threw me into this hobby, this interest of watching horror movies. So I was so excited when it was announced that there's going to be a Final Destination 6. Now, here are some things I need to tell you about this. First and foremost, before I give you any more information, let me start off by saying this is supposed to be an HBO Max release. I don't know if that also means it's gonna be a theatrical release. It's gonna be released in theaters and then head to HBO Max, or they're gonna be released at the same time, one on HBO Max and one in theaters. I have no idea how they're gonna go about it, but I do know that HBO Max is supposed to be one place for sure that this movie is supposed to go to. Now, I was a little worried about that. I try my best to read the most recent articles and updates about this because I know HBO Max was going through this whole debacle and they had all these movies and TV shows and whatever lined up for 2023, and then I don't know, something happened. I mean, I kind of know, but it's not important to this video, but they had to cut back and they're like, actually, we're not gonna do most of these things. So I thought that Final Destination 6 was gonna be one of those things that there's no reason why we're not gonna do this movie anymore, budget cuts, whatever. But one of the things that they did cut and that is not coming anymore, they canceled this, and I'm actually very upset about this, was a Degrassi reboot. Again, if you don't know much about me, you're getting a lot of information in this first bit, but I am obsessed, unhealthily obsessed with Degrassi. I love it. I know it's my guilty pleasure. Everyone's allowed at least one innocent guilty pleasure. Degrassi is mine, all right? Say what you want. I know it's cringe. I know it's bad, whatever. I love it. I rewatch it every year. All 14 seasons and Next Class, all right? I was so excited when they announced that there was gonna be a reboot coming to HBO Max, and then recently they announced that that it's canceled, they're not doing it anymore. I was close to tears. I really was. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It is news that I care about, and that's what this video is about. So, for Final Destination 6, so John Watts is supposed to be directing it. He is known for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I've never seen any of the newer Homecoming, No Way Home, whatever, any of those movies for Spider-Man, so I can't really compare or get really any idea of what his directing style is or what his movies look like. The creator of Final Destination franchise, Jeffrey Reddick, says that they want to change the formula up a little bit, but it's still gonna have basically the same things. The plot basically reads the same as any Final Destination movie. They're a teenager is on a trip or they're doing something, whatever. They get a premonition that everything is gonna go awry, everyone's gonna die in a very specific way, and he comes out of premonition, and sure enough, he tries to like save everybody, and death follows them and tries to kill the people that escaped, right? That is the setup for Final Destination. Now, something I love about Final Destination is that they aren't really connected to each other. I mean, they kind of are. They did it with 1 and 2. They were like directly correlated with each other, and even, spoiler, even 5 was kind of correlated directly because it was a prequel, but that's something that I like, that it's just, that's the premise, that's what happens every time, and like, go, go, go. I think that's kind of what I like about Friday the 13th as well. They are kind of connected, but it's not super majorly, because it's just the teens are going to Camp Crystal Lake, there's Jason, go, 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 and that's it. So that's what I like about Final Destination. I'm a simple gal. The only thing I really want to say more about this one is that, one, there is no set release date. It is, you know, a 2023 maybe, or I think they wrapped up filming, so hopefully we will get something soon, some more updates soon. But 2, my one thing that I need to say, and this needs to happen, is that Tony Todd needs to be in this one. He's been in every single one. I'm obsessed with Tony Todd. Freaking Candyman. He needs to be in this one. If he's not in this one, I'm gonna be really fucking mad. I think he is going to be in this one. Who knows? I think he's been kind of teasing it. So faith in humanity has been restored. Now, something that we have probably the most information about, because it's going to be coming out very soon, well, kind of very soon, is Scream 6. Now, you guys know, I love Scream. I really, really do. I love this franchise. I think it's so clever. I think it's funny. I love the concept, everything about it. Yes, yes, yes. However, Scream 5, if you haven't seen my review, I encourage you to watch that video, because I didn't have the best opinion about Scream 5. It was just okay. It was just there. You know what I mean? But you know how Hollywood goes. They gotta keep going on and really wring out as much juice as they can out of every freaking franchise. And that's what they're doing with the Scream franchise. And I feel like once Wes Craven passed away, let's just stop messing with the franchise. He's not here anymore, because every movie that he's been a part of for the Scream franchise, yes, yes, yes. Love. So, Scream 6, it is set to come out March 10th, 2023, so very early on in the year. The last Scream movie came out in January of 2022. It is going to be directed by the same people that directed Scream 5, Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli. And I believe, I think this is just a rumor, but I think she doesn't say anything because she wants it to be a surprise, but Hayden Panettiere is supposed to come back, or fans are speculating that she is going to come back and reprise her role as Kirby Reed. Now, I was obsessed with Kirby in my Scream 4 reaction commentary video. If you haven't seen that, that's one of my best ones. I loved that movie. I was so devastated when she, spoiler alert, got stabbed. But in the Scream 5 movie that came out in 2022, January, another spoiler alert, but they had a little Easter egg where someone was on the computer, and on the sidebar in a suggested video, it said, survivor Kirby Reed talks about this killer and Ghostface and blah, blah, blah. So they hinted at her being alive. That just confirmed it. Fans were going fucking crazy, and I'm so excited that she is going to be in this one. I'm saying that with confidence because you don't just do that and not have her in the next movie. You know what I'm saying? Some more information is this is supposed to take place in New York. You know, Ghostface takes Manhattan style, you know what I'm saying? Which is gonna be very interesting because the thing about Scream is that it's all set in Woodsboro, and that's where they all end up, or that's where they all start. So I don't know how they're gonna play into New York. Now, probably the biggest piece of news is that Neve Campbell is, I believe, you know, don't quote me on this, but the last thing I read is that she is not going to be returning for this movie. I thought that I heard that that was the case, but then they, renegotiated her contract, and she was like, okay, fine, I'll come back, whatever. But the latest articles I've read said that she isn't supposed to come back, so we'll see how that goes. But everyone else that is still alive in the movie is supposed to, so Courtney Cox and Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera, who were all in Scream 5. So that's pretty much all the info that we have so far, or like the most relevant information that we have. But yeah, kind of disappointing. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna be a Scream movie without Neve, and it's not gonna be in Woodsboro. Like, people like that small town, homey vibe. At least I do, of the Scream movies, and it just being taken place somewhere else, I'm just like, I don't know. I know that Scream 2 and I guess Scream 3 weren't really taking place in there, but I didn't really like those movies. And I like Scream 4, and it was back in Woodsboro. So those are just my opinions about that. Okay, next, I was so pumped for this one, but I do have a couple things that need to happen before we get to this. So there is going to be, supposedly, a Saw 10. Now, I know I'm one of those people that if I love a franchise, I don't care how much I already kind of showed this in Final Destination, but if there is a franchise that I love, I don't even care. Bring in like as many movies as you want. Follow the same formula. You know what I'm saying? That's why my hopes for Scream, they would be that same level that I am with Saw at this point. But the fact that Neve Campbell isn't supposed to be in this one, it brings it down. You know what I mean? My excitement for this movie, it gets brought down. But for Saw, Tobin Bell is supposed to return to reprise his role. So the excitement is heightened. Kevin, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Kevin Greutert is set to direct. I believe this is supposed to follow the events right after Spiral, and everything, I think, in the universe is up for play. I have not seen Spiral. That is what I mean, that things are gonna need to happen before I watch this. Spiral is the only Saw movie that I have not seen. I kind of want to go on a little bit of a journey and rewatch all the Saw movies on my channel, so if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. And Shawnee Smith, from previous Saw fame, but most importantly, the Blob fame, is set also to return to reprise her role as Amanda. I am so pumped. You know, I love when people come back to reprise their roles in these. It just makes me so happy and excited. And I know that might be a controversial opinion about like, do we need another Saw movie? Do we need another whatever, Final Destination, Scream? You know, I will say, you know, you do have a point. We probably don't need any more of these type of movies, but I want to watch them, okay? I don't even care if they're bad. I like watching movies and reviewing and providing content for the channel. So I think it's just gonna be a fun and interesting time, all right? I am excited for things to happen. I just like having something to be excited about and something to look forward to, right? Is that a crime? I don't think so. All right, so taking a little bit of a turn, we will get back to more movies and whatnot in a little bit, but taking a little bit of a sidetrack is we're gonna be talking about horror games that are gonna come out in 2023, or just some news that we have so far, because there are so many that I am particularly interested in, being someone that isn't really that big of a gamer, someone that doesn't really play horror games that often. It makes me want to play these games at the least. So the first one that we are pumped for on this channel, like I cannot express how excited I am that this is happening, but there's going to be a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. Yes, it's happening, folks. Ooh, I'm so excited for this. So here's what we know. All we have, and first let me say their website is really, like, who designed that? It is so complex and visually pleasing and easy to access, and you know, I loved it, which some other games, some other people, you know, they didn't work on their website. We'll get to that in a little bit. But here's all the info we know about it so far. All that we know is that they just said an early 2023 release. I'm not sure when that'll be. I'm hoping maybe like February, late January. All right, that's my hope. And this will be released on Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4 and 5, and on Steam platforms. So that is the release. You can get it pretty much on anything at this point. So this is going to be a multiplayer, asymmetrical, 3 clowns versus 7 humans style of game. All right. So on their website, it says that humans win by deactivating the clown spaceship. They escape, you know, basically the arena or the area that they are in, or if they keep everybody alive for the entire duration of the round, then the humans win. Now you can also play as the clowns. I think it's 5 specialty clowns that you can play that are known in the movie. So it's not just random clowns, it are clowns from the movie. And basically all the clowns have to do is capture the humans. And then they have certain weapons, you know, cotton candy gun. You can kind of see it right there. Cotton candy guns, popcorn things, whatever. So it sounds super, super fun. It kind of sounds like Dead by Daylight type of style of gaming, you know, where you can kind of play as both and it's not really like a storyline you gotta follow through, which I'm not the biggest fan of those type of games where it's like a whole storyline, you gotta keep up with everything. I kind of like Dead by Daylight, multiplayer, asymmetrical type of games as it is described. This is developed by TerraVision. I don't really know anything else that they developed because like I said, I'm not much of a gamer type of person, but if that means something to you, there's that information. It's developed by TerraVision. So yeah, I am so excited for this one. I have been thinking a lot about starting a Twitch channel and playing some horror games, mainly because there's a lot that are coming out that I'm excited about and a lot that I want to get into now. So if that interests you, please comment below or vote on a poll that I have on my channel. I posted I think about a week ago. But yeah, I'm really interested in playing this one specifically since it sounds like something that's right up my alley. All right, next we have a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And I believe this is supposed to be the same kind of style as the Killer Klowns one. So I think it might be something that I'm interested in. This doesn't have a specific release date either. It just says 2023 and their website needs some cleaning up. All right, it's not the most informational. It's just like one page. You know what I mean? The Killer Klowns one, there's so much info and so many like interactive things within that website. Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game website. All right, they need some sprucing up. This is also gonna be released on Xbox, PS4, PS5, and Steam. Like I said, asymmetrical multiplayer game. And this is going to be just set in the 1974 film. So all the places and the settings will be the same in the video game from the movie. And this is going to be developed by Sumo Nottingham. Again, I've tried looking up. I don't even know anything else that they have developed, so I can't compare, but we'll see how it goes. I know that there is a Friday the 13th game that is very similar to basically Texas Chainsaw, how I'm describing right now. I don't know if it's the same development or distribution company or whatever, but take with that what you will. Would like to play the Friday the 13th game because I am really obsessed with Friday the 13th now. All right, next, I thought I would include this, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I would play this game because it seems like something that would scare me very bad. The demo for this game really scarred me for life back when it came out, and I don't even know, like early 2010s. My cousins will play the demo of this game and it freaked the heck out of me, and that is Silent Hill. All right, they're making a Silent Hill 2 remake. Again, this just says it's going to be released sometime in 2023, but along with this, I think the developers or the owners of Silent Hill released that there are going to be multiple Silent Hill games coming out. One of them being Silent Hill 2 remake. That's going to be released on PS5 and Steam. Another Silent Hill game called Silent Hill F that is supposed to be set in Japan. And another one called Silent Hill Downfall, but there's not much information about that one. They just released that those were the ones that they were working on, and I believe Silent Hill 2 remake is supposed to come out first. That's pretty much all we have information-wise about those. If you have any more info, let us know. But I might be down to play that one. It's just, it might be too spooky for me. I'm gonna be straight up. It might be too scary for me. This is going to be a full remake developed by the Bluebird team. So take with that what you will. Again, I don't really know who that is or what they do, but that's what we have so far. That is our information. Okay, so steering back into movies and whatnot, we have something that I don't really have much info about. I am excited about this, but I'm not getting my hopes up for it, and that is a Trick or Treat sequel. Now, this isn't set to come out any certain time. I don't even think they've even started filming. It just says that the director, Michael Dougherty, who did the original Trick or Treat and Krampus, I don't know why I have to say Krampus like that. Krampus, right? It's important that I say it like that, apparently. He just said that they are in development, but there's basically no green light that it is like a confirmed they're actually doing it. But it is something to think about, all right? I'm obsessed with Trick or Treat and Krampus, so take with that what you will, but I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much considering it's not even greenlit and it's not even any confirmation that it would even happen. I'm fine if it doesn't happen because the original Trick or Treat is just a good movie just by itself. You know, it's a good standalone. So I'm fine if there's not a sequel. And if there is a sequel, I'm going to the movie theaters and I'm watching it, all right? But something that we do have a confirmation about is there's gonna be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I'm not too engrossed in the Five Nights at Freddy lore and franchise, but I have seen playthroughs of the games. You know, I had cousins that played it and whatnot. I am familiar enough to know that this is going to be very interesting considering it's just a bunch of animatronics. Now, this is going to be produced by Blumhouse, and you know, it's either hit or miss with Blumhouse. I think that's a pretty neutral opinion that everybody has. I think that's a similar opinion that most people have. It's either hit or miss with Blumhouse. You just never know if their movies are gonna suck ass or actually be pretty good. This is gonna be directed by someone named Emma Tammy. I looked at her IMDb. I don't know anything that she's directed, so my apologies to her, but I thought I'd provide the information if it means something to you. I don't think that this will be coming out in 2023, considering that filming is supposed to begin in February of 2023. So that's just something that we know is for sure happening. Jason Blum confirmed it on Twitter. He also confirmed that basically there's not going to be any CGI for the animatronics. It's going to be actual real animatronics. There's a company building them all, so that's a good sign, you know, because nothing would be worse than a cool concept like that and you can't even build like at least one real animatronic, but that just means it's going to be even scarier. So I'm actually excited to see how that movie turns out. I will go and see it, but like I said, I don't think it'll come out 2023, maybe early 2024 or late 2023. All right, folks. This is a piece of information that I am so excited for, as I have been for like most of the things on here. But this one I am particularly pumped for. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. There's going to be a Friday the 13th TV show. Yes. Yes, you heard it here first. Probably not, but you heard it here, folks, all right? It's happening. It's in the works. We got all this information about it. Let's get to it. So, first and foremost, it is going to be called Crystal Lake. It is going to be produced by A24, which is very shocking considering we all know A24 movies are usually top tier, amazing production, amazing style, and you know, they have a certain vibe going on over there, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to look. Hopefully it'll be at least very pretty, all right? That might be our saving grace. Another thing too is that it is going to be, I believe, a Peacock exclusive. I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, Peacock Peacock gave us They/Them, and we all know how that movie went. So we shall see, but hopefully if they have a big enough company like A24 backing them up, there should be a good enough budget there, despite the fact that it's on Peacock, which is very random. Now, this is going to be written by Brian Fuller, who co-wrote the TV show Hannibal. I've never seen Hannibal. I've heard good things about it, so maybe I should watch it, but lo and behold, he will be one of the writers for this show. So it is set to be a prequel to the very first Friday the 13th movie. Now, there is a little bit of legality or issues with this that we have to talk about a little bit. I'm just going to read what this article says. So basically, to recap these legal issues that this franchise has been dealing with, Sean Cunningham, the original movie's director, and Victor Miller, the original movie's writer, have been fighting over who gets control of what. In 2018, a judge has ruled in Miller's favor, who owns the right to the screenplay. Cunningham, however, owns the character of adult Jason Voorhees, introduced in later sequels, which is probably why this show is taking a prequel route. So I haven't seen any of the newer Friday the 13th movies, I think past like the remake. I mean, I've only seen up to part 4 at this point in time. So I don't know exactly when they're talking about the newer adult Jason. At least we know that is going to be a prequel, and so at least from my understanding that the original up to part 4 is all into play. So I'm actually excited because I feel like a prequel is the best way to go about it, because we've never really gotten any type of prequel or information about that terrible summer where this all started with Jason drowning. So, it's just talked about, and they just have a little bit of clips here and there. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm not as nervous as I could be. The fact that it's on Peacock makes me a little nervous because I just don't know what their budget is going to look like, but the fact that it's produced by A24 gives me a little bit of a hope, because I know they have a good budget and they have at least pretty and good style of movies. So we have that to look forward to. I'm pumped. I'm not sure when this is supposed to come out, but that's the info that we have right now. All right, so here are some more movies that we have official dates for their release, starting with Evil Dead Rise. Now, I mentioned this in my last 2022 horror movie news, but I guess that they pushed the date to April 21st, 2023. This is going to be written and directed by Lee Cronin, and this is the 5th installment of this franchise, and apparently there's supposed to be a theatrical and a possible HBO Max release. It's not really confirmed if that's the case, but I believe at least we're getting a theatrical release. So, usually when things go straight to streaming, it's a little worrisome, considering that that means the budget can be a little bit lower, and so the quality might be a factor in that. But if it's having a theatrical release as well, then maybe we're okay. I think they're just doing an HBO Max also because Warner Bros is probably producing it and they own both those companies. They own both HBO Max. So we shall see. Evil Dead is a franchise that I do not want to touch because it scares the living crap out of me. I watched the remake back in 2013, and it scarred me for life. Not gonna lie, but maybe I'll watch it again. Watch the original. Who knows? Stay tuned for that if that ever happens. Okay, another one that at this point I feel like it's okay to say, can we stop at a certain point? This needs to end. But that is Insidious 5. Yes, there's gonna be another Insidious movies. Insidious is something that I'm not really sure if I've ever kept up with it, because there's so many in the Conjuring universe. There's so much going on in that meta universe that I just don't know if it's an Insidious movie, if it was a Conjuring movie that I saw, if it was an Annabelle movie, a Nun movie. I don't know. However, I know that I saw, I think the last Insidious movie, The Last Key or whatever, with Lynn Shane, who is supposed to come back for this movie. But Insidious 5, Fear the Dark, is set to come out July 7th, 2023. It's gonna be directed by Patrick Wilson, from the Conjuring and Insidious movies. And it says that it is going to be set 10 years after the second movie in this franchise, after the second Insidious movie. So I don't really know what goes on in the second one, but maybe I'll have to watch that to understand what's going on in Insidious 5. So I believe I've seen the first one. I've seen the very last one, which is 4. So I guess I'm just missing 2 and 3. So it seems like something I can catch up with. But the very first Insidious movie is also something that I saw as a child that scarred me for life. All right, so along with that, continuing in the Conjuring universe, we got a freaking Nun 2 movie. This is set to come out September 8th, 2023, directed by Michael Chaves, and plain and simple is going to be a sequel to the 2018 The Nun, with James Wan and Peter Safran to co-produce. James Wan is very famous for this whole Conjuring and Insidious and The Nun universe, so it seems like this is going to be another typical movie. It's one of those things where when you first watch The Conjuring or Insidious, like, that shit freaked you out, but for some reason I feel like the quality just took a giant dip, and that stuff does not freak me out anymore. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm an adult, and when I first saw those movies I was a kid and it freaked me out, but now it's just like these things just don't scare me anymore. It's just funny. Watching the Conjuring movie back, it's just hilarious. Don't get me wrong, it is scary, but it's just funny at this point. So at least we can get excited for the humor that will come out of this. Maybe some jokes, some goofs, some gags. You know, maybe we'll get something out of this Insidious 5 and The Nun 2 coming out. All right, last piece of information that I have for you guys is they're going to make a new Exorcist movie. This is set to be a sequel after the very first 1973 movie, a direct sequel from a movie that was eons ago. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know what their plan is. It's set to come out October 13th, 2023, another Friday the 13th. And the icon, David Gordon Green from the Halloween franchise, is set to be the director. Now, this is going to be very interesting, folks. I know people have a lot of opinion about David Gordon Green's Halloween franchise. I like the 2018 Halloween. All right, if you haven't seen my reaction, go ahead, check that one out. I actually liked that one. I haven't seen Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I mean, The Exorcist is a very different, extremely, incredibly different vibe, different franchise, different mood from freaking Halloween. You know, we got exorcism, we got demons, we got religion, we got all these other aspects coming into play. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I will go and see this one. I will have to bring, you know, protection. I'll have to bring a buddy, multiple, to protect me, because if you haven't seen my reaction to the very first, the original Exorcist 1973 movie that I did on Thor Reacts channel, yeah, that movie also scared me for life as well. So we got a lot of things that are going to be freaking me out, it looks like, coming into play in 2023. Although the one piece of information about this Exorcist movie that has me, you know, has my eyebrows raised, you know, piques my interest. Leslie Odom Jr. is going to be in this movie. I don't know if this is important information for you guys. It's important to me. He was in Murder on Orient Express. I haven't even seen that movie, but I know that he was in it. But most importantly, Aaron Burr from Hamilton. Yes, I love this man. So, all right. You have my interest, Leslie. Okay, I'm intrigued. So there we have it, folks. Let me know what you guys think about this information. Let me know what you're most excited for. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you think is particularly interesting, let me know. Any more info about anything I talked about is much appreciated. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what 2023 has in store. There's a whole bunch of other standalone movies that I could talk about, but I didn't want this video to be, you know, 5 hours long. So maybe I'll make a different one, maybe not, but there are a lot of standalone horror movies that I'm interested in. These are more just things that already kind of have some sort of a hype or lore or a fan base around them that seemed interesting to me. So with that said and done, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons, and especially to AJ, Mark Sylvester, and Chase. Thank you so much, and make sure to go ahead and check out my Patreon if you haven't already. Alright, so link to my Patreon will be in the description. Go ahead, check that out, see what's in store for you over there. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I'm so excited to start watching newer movies, even if I'm telling you guys, even if these movies all suck ass, I like watching new movies, all right? My whole channel is based on me watching a quote-unquote new movie or a movie that I've never seen before. I like the not knowing. I like being spooked. I like seeing these things happen. You know what I mean? Especially if it's about something or connected to a franchise that I already really like. I'm gonna be excited about it. I understand there are people that are like, why do we have to keep going with these movies? Like, can we let this franchise die? Like, get it, blah, 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 yada, yada. Listen, I understand. And I also understand that I am part of the problem, me saying that I like going back to watch, you know, Saw 10, like really a Saw 10, you know what I mean? Franchises have a crap ton of movies. I understand I'm part of the problem. Me liking that, I don't care. All right, I will acknowledge it. Now let's move past it and watch these movies and get excited for them, all right? That's just my opinion. So thank you for coming along with me on this journey. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that jazz. And as always, thanks for watching.